Started franchise. You guys can take a running back number 1 overall. CCNI and Smalls. Well, Smalls wasn't in with it. You were on with this, but not in on this point, obviously, with Saquon being 3rd at best on the expansion draft from the Eagles.
Yeah, I was not in on that.
Yeah, well, I'm cool. Like, we'll take either of the Jalen's 1 overall, and we'll be good. Okay. I feel good. I feel really good about that.
We'll be all right.
I think we'll be okay.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to get into X factors, but as long as they're playing that for us here, I have to ask a question.
What's up?
Saquon Barkley is unreal. He is the exact kind of person and player you want as a face of the franchise.
Correct.
Right? He's the best running back in this sport.
And a selfless teammate.
Selfless teammate. Like the kind of guy seemingly on the surface, I don't know him, you'd want babysitting your kids. He's that kind of salt of the earth kind of person and teammate. Is it definitively a success with Saquon on the Eagles if they lose this weekend?
Yes.
You think so?
No, I'm asking the question.
No, it's not a success.
Thank you.
It's a massive failure if they lose. They
like we're praising this move.
They passed up on setting the single season rushing record, which is a tremendous honor for both the offensive line and for Saquon Barkley because they wanted to try to win a championship. If you don't even get to the Super Bowl because you get bounced by a division rival who's quarterbacked by a rookie, yeah, that's a failure. This is the best team in terms of overall talent in the NFL. And if you don't find a way to get this core of players to the Super Bowl, it is a massive missed opportunity.
That I can agree with, but I don't think that then acquiring Saquon Barkley was a failure. He's a huge reason why this team is where they are. He's quite literally been running all over teams all season long. And if they don't win this game, I don't think it's going to be because of Saquon. He has been unstoppable essentially all season long. You're right, he should have broken the record, but he was selfless and decided not to go for it and rest his body because he's more committed to a team goal than an individual one. If they don't win this game, I might be looking at Jalen Hurts and his health and his performance more than I am Saquon. I can't in any way, shape, or form look at this season or this acquisition with this individual player and say it was a failure. He's been awesome for them this year.
I could listen. My only thought on this is like value above replacement at that position. If you got a good running back instead of a great running back, they still could be here.
Yeah.
We saw them in the Super Bowl a few years ago.
Yeah, that's the part I struggle with too, right?
It's not like we're making up success for them.
It's not a hypothetical.
They won 11 games in a row last year, whatever it was.
It actually happened.
Yeah. Like, he's the icing on the – like, they're going to get to the Super Bowl, I believe.
He's the finishing piece, right?
Exactly right.
He's the finishing piece.
But if they don't, he's not.
Well, exactly.
That's the weird thing about this.
It's not. Here's the thing. It's not a swing – it's not as if it's a swing they shouldn't have made, right? If you got a chance to add a player like Saquon Barkley, a special talent, generational, then you do it because this team is firmly within their window to try to win a championship. So I get why Howie Roseman and Nick Sirianni wanted to go out and do it, but I will also acknowledge that if this team, with home field advantage and all of the different things that they got going for them, if they can't find a way to beat the Washington Commanders with a rookie quarterback. And I get that Jayden Daniels is special, but he's still a rookie quarterback. He's never been on this stage. A lot of the guys on the Philadelphia Eagles have. If you can't find a way to parlay that experience, to parlay this roster into a Super Bowl appearance, then all of a sudden I got to start calling this. If it ain't a failure, it's a massive disappointment.
So as we look ahead to this weekend, obviously the two games, Washington and Philly is the earlier game, 3 p.m. Eastern time, and then 6:30 p.m. Eastern, we have Kansas City and Buffalo. Who or what will be the biggest X factor this weekend? Pick the game, both games, however you want to go about it. Give us names or situational things, Smalls, that we're not thinking about here.
Well, Saquon certainly won for me, given the question around Jalen Hurts and how effective he's going to be in this game. You know, obviously banged up in that game versus the Rams. Saquon could be the X factor in this offense for Philadelphia. And on the other side of the ball, I'm also looking at the Eagles. If Jalen Carter and that defense is able to be as disruptive as they've been, I know that we're going to say Jayden Daniels is not a typical rookie, and he's not. He quite literally has the best QBR of any rookie that's ever played this game in history. He is very singular in what he's been able to do, but they've been so disruptive and so dominant. If they're able to get to him, I think the Eagles win this game.
Wow. Okay, I like it. I like it. For my X factor with the Eagles-Commanders game, I'm going with De'Ami Brown. Not a household name, but certainly somebody that you should pay attention to this weekend. I know when it comes to catching the ball, it's Scary Terry McLaurin, and then, of course, Zach Ertz on critical 3rd and 4th downs and in the red zone. But De'Ami Brown is a game breaker. I mean, when you look at what he's been able to do this postseason, you're talking about this guy having 11 catches for 187 yards and a touchdown. He's done that on 13 targets. I mean, he's a guy that Jayden Daniels is gaining more and more confidence in as the weeks pass, and we're seeing him now emerge as a big play threat down the field. I mean, you saw it against single high coverage against the Detroit Lions. There was a deep over route. There was a deep crossing route. And both times, Jayden Daniels was able to find him for huge gains that ended up leading to touchdowns eventually on those respective drives. So De'Ami Brown is a guy that can break the game wide open. And when you consider the Quinyon Mitchell injury and him being banged up in this game, I feel like there's going to be a spotlight on this Eagles secondary to make plays down the field against the Commanders' passing game, and De'Ami Brown is going to be front and center when it comes to some of those opportunities for explosives.
Smalls, give me KC Buffalo.
Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen has to be the reason why the Bills win this game, period, end of story. Because if you go position group by position group, the Chiefs have the edge in the overall tally marker. I think that Josh Allen has been a little bit more reserved in the way that the Bills have won games. I think he's got to put the cape on. He's got to be the reason that they win this.
KC Buffalo.
Okay, so my X factor in this one is going to be Terrell Bernard against Patrick Mahomes.
As a spy?
As a spy. And they did that a lot in critical situations in their matchup in the regular season. And Patrick Mahomes did not have a single rush attempt against the Buffalo Bills in that game. And Patrick Mahomes, at his best, he's always running around. He's able to scramble. He's able to extend the downs. And if nothing's downfield, he's going to take off and try to get what he can. They've done a great job at being able to contain him with the spy. And so Terrell Bernard, and it might be Matt Milano now that he's back. It could be Dorian Williams. But the spy for the Buffalo Bills defense in that linebacking core against Patrick Mahomes, that is my X factor that's going to determine how that game goes.
All right, so obviously we got championship weekend.
Xin chào tất cả các bạn đã quay trở lại với kênh YouTube của mình. Video ngày hôm nay mình lại làm những video tô mổ để gửi tặng tất cả các bạn đây. Đây là những đồ vật, con vật của mình chuẩn bị tô mổ để gửi tặng tất cả các bạn. Đấy. Những sản phẩm của mình rất chi là nhiều, rồi. Và không thể thiếu được hộp xăm màu của mình này các bạn ơi. Hộp xăm màu giúp mình tạo ra những sản phẩm tuyệt đẹp. Và bây giờ các bạn cùng theo dõi mình tô mổ nha.
Tiếp tục tô mổ nhé các bạn.